worship with words by Reverend Bob Janice Dill. Here, within these walls, here in this community of love and justice, we pause in our busy lives to consider what is worthy of our deepest yearnings. In the time we are given here, may we pay attention to the wonder of each moment. May we grieve what is lost, and may we be grateful for our life on this beautiful earth. And may we prepare ourselves for the work love calls us to do, just as we are. May we be the beloved community. Come, let us worship together. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit to join our voices and our hymn, Here We Have Gathered, number 360 in the Gray Hymnal.
Please remain standing as Lisa Gibson lights our chalice. And as Lisa lights our chalice this morning, let it serve as a symbol of our togetherness. And let it also serve as a reminder that we make this place sacred by coming together and sharing our authentic selves with one another.
I invite you to gather round as we hear a special tale called Owl Moon, written by Jane Nolan, illustrated by John Schroeder. It was late one winter night, long past my bedtime. Pa and I went owling. There was no wind, The trees stood still as giant statues, and the moon was so bright the sky seemed to shine. Somewhere behind us, a train whistle blew, long and low, like a sad, sad song. I could hear it through the woolen cap Paul had put down over my ears. I could hear it through the woolen cap Paul pulled down over my ears. A farm dog answered the train, and then a second dog joined in. They sang out trains and dogs for a real long time, and when their voices faded away, it was quiet as a dream. We walked towards the woods, Pa and I. Our feet crunched over the crisp snow, and little gray footprints followed us. Pa made a long shadow, but mine was short and round. I had to run after him every now and then to keep up, and my short round shadow bumped after me. But I never called out. If you go owling, you have to be quiet. That's what Pa always says. I had been waiting to go owling with Pa for a long, long time. We watched a line of pine trees, black and pointy against the sky, and Pa held up his hand. I stopped right where I was and waited. He looked up, as if searching the stars, as if reading a map up there. The moon made his face into a silver mask. Then he called, "Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo," the sound of a great horned owl. "Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo." Again he called out, and then again. After each call he was silent, and for a moment we both listened. But there was no answer. Pa shrugged, and I shrugged. I was not disappointed. My brothers all said sometimes there's an owl, and sometimes there isn't. We walked on. I could feel the cold as if someone's icy hand was palmed down on my back, and my nose and the tops of my cheeks felt cold and hot at the same time. But I never said a word. If you go owling, you have to be quiet and make your own heat. We went into the woods. The shadows were the blackest things I had ever seen. They stained the white snow. My mouth felt furry, for the scarf over it was wet and warm. I didn't ask what kind of things hid behind the black trees in the middle of the night. When you go owling, you have to be brave. Then we came to a clearing in the dark woods. The moon was high above us. It seemed to fit exactly over the center of the clearing, and the snow behind it was whiter than milk in a cereal bowl. I sighed. Pa held up his hand at the sound. I put my mittens. I sighed, and Pa held his hand up at the sound. I put my mittens over the scarf, over my mouth, and listened hard. And then Pa called, "Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo." I listened and looked so hard my ears hurt, and my eyes got cloudy with the cold. Pa raised his face to call it again, but before he could open his mouth, an echo came threading its way through the trees. "Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo." Pa almost smiled, then he called back, "Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo," just as if he and the owl were talking about supper, or about the woods, or the moon, or the cold. I took my mitten off the scarf, off my mouth, and I almost smiled too. The owl's call came closer, from high up in the trees on the edge of the meadow. Nothing in the meadow moved. All of a sudden, an owl shadow, parts of the great big tree shadow, lifted off and flew right over us. We watched silently with heat in our mouths, the heat of all those words we had not spoken. The shadow hooted again. Pa turned on his big flashlights and caught the owl just as it was landing on a branch. For 1 minute, 3 minutes, maybe even 100 minutes, we stared at one another. Then the owl pumped its great wings and lifted off the branch of its shadow without a sound. It flew back into the forest. Time to go home, Pa said to me. I knew then that I could talk. I could even laugh out loud. But I was a shadow as we walked home. When you go owling, you don't need words or worm or anything but hope. That's what Pa says. The kind of hope that flies on silent wings under a shining owl hood. Oops. Thanks for listening. Please remain seated for our prayer hymn, number 1010 in the Teal hymnal, We Give Thanks. In the silence that follows the spoken prayer, you are invited to come forward and light a candle for any joys or concerns you hold in your heart this morning. Spirit of love and life, source of all that is, we come here carrying sorrow in our hearts and joy in our souls. In our joy, may we celebrate with the sacred. In our sorrow, may we grieve with the holy. May the divine lament with us, share delight with us, and be shaped by us. May our tender hearts be met with sacred companionship. Spirit of love, we are but a part of the great mystery, the sacred unknown, surrounded by the tangible and the intangible, the finite and the infinite, the sacred and the profane, the known and the unknown. May we find our place in the web of eternity, our connection with all that is. May we never lose faith in the goodness that permeates this broken world, nor in the divine that holds us in its embrace. May we know the world, may we know you in the world all around us, within and beyond, in flowers imbued with divinity just as they are stardust, in trees holy though ordinary, in mountains alive with spirit. May we see the finite and the transcendent held as one. May we notice and to engage with true beauty and share faith. May it be so, and amen. I light a candle for the joys and concerns of those beloveds joining us virtually. And I light a candle for all else that we hold in our hearts and our minds this morning. If your heart is hurting, know that your community is here to help, as am I. Please reach out with any needs.
The Persian poet and mystic Hafez wrote, "And still, after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, 'You owe me.' Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky. And so, let the sun be the model for our giving, that we may help one another without question or demands, in this world that has been given to us, without question or demands." For those of you watching the service online, you may contribute to a virtual offering plate using the donate button on our website, or by mailing a check to the church office. I invite the ushers forward to receive the offering. For all that you give and all that you do for our church and its wider concerns, we give thanks. This reading from Ursula Goodenough's The Sacred Depths of Nature. Reverence is the sense that there is something larger than the self, to which one accords respect and awe and assent. And this poem, The Peace of Wild Things, by Wendell Berry. When despair grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and what my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. I invite you to rise in body or spirit, to join our voices in hymn number 398 in the Grey Hymnal, To See the World.
As a people of this beloved liberal faith tradition, we are intimately bound together in a theological search for truth and meaning. At the heart of our faith is the journey we share, sojourning together as each of us seeks our own understanding of faith, theology, and our sense of meaning and purpose. Together we question, reflect, wonder, and ruminate. Ours is a journey with no true end, and yet it is critical in self-discovery. Our greater denomination articulates this quest of the theology of pluralism that, quote, "We are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology." We are bound together with each sacred being in our web, celebrating our differences, yet journeying as a unified and covenantal whole. Questions abound, answers elusive. Is divinity all-powerful, all-loving? Is divinity bound together with the least of these? Is there a divine essence at all? Our responses are fundamentally evasive, yet open to contemplation and exploration. Today, we are invited to continue to craft our own theology by engaging deeply with the natural world. I chose this focus because we are so profoundly interlaced with all living sentient beings, interwoven with each of nature's blessings. We cannot escape forming a relationship. Faith calls us to pay attention to all that is around us, fostering spirituality through engagement with towering trees, ancient stardust, and the birds that circle above us. No matter how finite and profane, there is a sense of spirit weaving the mundane together in a web of faith and awe. Today we explore different theological understandings of the natural world of which we are immersed in, inviting a shift in our own theological meaning-making, exploring religious overlaps of nature and the divine. First, I invite us into an exploration of religious naturalism. In this understanding of religion, there is no God, no goddess, no essence of divine love. There is nature, beautiful, awe-inspiring nature. Nature is not imbued with the sacred, saturated with any sort of divine essence. It is simply atoms and photosynthesis and inanimate rocks and that in and of itself is worthy of reverence. By immersing ourselves in plunging canyons and mere lightning bugs alike, we create meaning. We create meaning from this awe when we intuit that we are interconnected, that we belong to one another. We create meaning when we realize we are a patchwork of the animate and the inanimate interacting in ways that fill our lives with wonder and awe. It is a profound sense of gratitude and shared experience. I think of the many hikes my husband and I have taken all throughout myriad ecosystems of the natural world. Alligators in North Carolina, which were on the surface quite alarming. Or cascading waterfalls in upstate New York. The depths of the earth at the Grand Canyon. No matter where we were, in any particular moment, we found something worthy of reverence and awe. The first blooming snowdrops of the season reminding us that there is an ever-present beauty in this world, ignorant of the surrounding angst. The rotting trees that so beautifully depicted that there is an ever-evolving circle of life with any living thing. Our lives seem forever finite, and yet in nature they persist. Each element of nature typically met with monotony is to be revered. Well-known religious naturalist Ursula Goodenough offered the following quote: "Reverence is the sense that there is something larger than the self, to which one accords respect and awe and assent. Nature is expansive in all of its wonder and awe. We are but a piece, a blessed, beloved, yet wildly insignificant piece of all that has ever been. May we revere the expanse." To many others, the natural world is not simply atoms and physics. Transcendentalism is an offshoot of Unitarianism established in the mid-1800s in New England. Nature, in this philosophical and spiritual movement, is fully imbued with divinity. Ralph Waldo Emerson, prominent Unitarian church transcendentalist, offered, quote, "In the woods we return to reason and faith. I see all, the currents of the universal being, circulate through me. I am part or particle of God." Nature, God, all around us, deeply and profoundly interconnected. We are not separate from all that is holy, but expressions of it. Connecting with nature, residing with nature, if done with intention, leads to spiritual insight and a sense of profound connection. This is the crux of transcendentalism. I am curious if you have ever wandered on a nighttime beach held under a canopy of stars. If you have ever leaned against a tree so ancient your ancestors could have sat there. These are moments to connect with a much deeper reality as nature and spirit join as one. And it is this: meaning, purpose, faith, these are not passed down through religious doctrines nor past religious leaders. They are instead crafted by the individual through profound and intentional personal experience with the first cherry blossoms of spring, the abundant yellow dandelions. Through an immersion in nature, transcendentalists hold that people are inspired to craft their own meaning, their own faith, their own beliefs. Emerson wrote of the intuition that nature so generously provides. When paused in nature, we are offered this question: what is your pure inner truth? What is held deeper than spirit and soul, too silent to be heard by that still small voice within? Listen, wonder, invite. I offer a second quote from prominent transcendentalist Ralph Waldo Emerson, edited for gendered language. The happiest person is one who learns from the nature the lesson of worship. Worship need not be spoken prayer, hymns, nor sermons offered in a brick and mortar church. Worship is found in true connection with all that the earth so graciously provides. Worship is to stand below the clouds, to see your reflection mirrored in a tranquil stream. Nature provides those time-honored elements of traditional worship: awe, humility, gratitude, and wonder. This next theology adds yet another layer to this intersection of faith and divinity. Let us explore the teachings of a particular theology, panentheism. I offer the sentiments of Philip Clayton, renowned philosopher of religion. Clayton uses the word God, for that is the name of divinity in this theology. May you lift up in your own heart, goddess, spirit, essence of love, the divine that holds true to you. Clayton offers, quote, "The simple definition of panentheism is the view that the world is in some sense within God, although God is also more than the world. Unlike transcendentalism, God is both immanent and transcendent. Immanence is understood as a divine presence inherent in the living and the tangible, all people, all plants, all animals, as well as the inanimate. Transcendent means that divinity is well beyond the range of mere human experience, exceeding all that we could possibly comprehend. The sacred is present everywhere, and simultaneously far greater than all that is tangible and experiential. God is in the first crocuses of spring, and yet God transcends the crocuses. It is sitting with a favorite bush covered in blue petals, immersed in beauty and sentimentality, yet also pulled by the Spirit. The natural world is imbued with divine presence. Panentheism holds another foundational theological view relationship. While the divine is not distant in this tangible realm, held within the trees right within our grasp, neither is divinity removed from the human spirit. All that is sacred resides as a caring and compassionate entity, intimately connected and held within each living, breathing person. The Spirit interacts with and responds to all of our woes and laments, our joys and celebrations. Renowned philosopher Albert North Whitehead wrote, "God is the fellow sufferer who understands." God knows each spirit intimately. When we suffer, the divine laments with us. When we rejoice, all that is sacred celebrates as well. In many theologies, we are fundamentally affected by divinity. Yet here, our experiences affect this great divine essence in return. I think of our own Unitarian Universalist faith, and I consider how we move within and relate to the natural world that surrounds us. What is perhaps most apparent is our stated value of interdependence. Quote, "We honor the interdependent web of all existence and acknowledge our place in it." We are intimately interwoven with each plant, each animal, and each person residing in this forever finite realm, as well as all who were and all who ever will be. We are deeply interwoven with all that we find sacred and holy, and akin to all that we have been discussing. This nature and this divinity may overlap and intertwine. At times we find this intimate connection beautiful, and at times we find this terrifying. When we tend to nature, she flourishes. When we take advantage of nature, we help contribute to the climate crisis, entirely antithetical to our own faith. All that we do, ripples to the edges of the ever-expansive web, affecting natural resources as well as myriad humans that we will never even meet. In this, our seeming insignificance becomes deeply significant. I think this is crucial when we look at the broken world we are immersed in. All humanity, all abilities, all faiths, all races, all political parties, all socioeconomic statuses, we are interwoven into one greater whole, a patchwork of identities spanning the time and space, yet all connected by a common humanity, all connected by an eternal and everlasting spirit. When one of our siblings suffers, we all suffer. How can we look upon one another as siblings in this transient and finite realm? We are here in this space made sacred by our presence because we question our own theology. Nature, entities, transcendence, finitude, immortality, the list of queries is endless, and yet just as limitless are our responses. No two of us share the same theology, but we journey together nonetheless. The journey is what binds us together. Nature is held sacred to so many of us, not just those in this room, but our faith as a whole. There is a sense of wonder and reverence in those first spring fireflies, the clouds that release a torrential downpour. Nature is so proximate and so awe-inspiring in its expansiveness and in its beauty. How can we continuously pay attention to the world around us in new ways with new eyes? I leave you with these questions. Where do we see divinity? How do we see divinity? Your charge is to bring these inquiries to a space you hold most sacred and listen to what nature tells you. Let us end with a piece of the poem we heard earlier. When despair grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. As we leave this space, may we rest in the grace of the world and be free. May we revel in the journey of discovering what is life-affirming and awe-inspiring. May we never stop questioning, exploring, and sojourning together as a community of believers. May we see the world through the lens of faith. Each tree, each boulder, each grasshopper as something far more greater and more expressive than meets the eye. May we endlessly rejoice in the wonder and awe of all the natural world gifted to us by the great Spirit of life. Spirit of love, may we forever know faith, wonder, awe, and love. May it be so, and amen. Please rise and body or spirit to join our voices in hymn 348 in the great hymnal, Guide My Feet. made sacred by our presence. May we behold the ordinary in a new light, finding wonder in the grass below our feet, questioning the seeming monotony of a flock of geese. May we find the sacred all around us and welcome the holy into our midst. In this day and every day, may we know the spark of the divine within this sacred and finite world. Go in peace and amen.
With the moon.